Excuse me. Hello again. Welcome back to the 8th episode of this Uber Bintegers ride. I'm just pulling up in less than a minute to pick up my next rider here. This will be about a 15-minute ride, I think. So, a little longer, but here's to the unknown. It's always fun, isn't it? When you're, I think I said this to a previous rider the other day. It's kind of like opening up a box of chocolates. You have no idea what you're expecting to experience when you pull up to meet someone. So, yeah, here is to another unknown but high expectations sort of a ride. All right. Here's my ride.
So much, appreciate it.
Hello, Grace.
Good morning, guys.
Let me think. It's a little slower now. It was actually crazy for traffic earlier today.
Like that.
It was crazy. So you're starting at a really friendly time of the day. Grace, two things. One, I wanted you to know I live stream in my vehicle.
Okay,
So don't say anything that you're like, ooh, I don't want anyone to know about this.
no problem.
And two, I'm not sure what the scent is you're wearing, but it smells delicious.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What is it? Givenchy or is this? It's like a pink ball.
That's what I was gonna guess,
Yeah.
because I know.
Pink.
Well, that smells lovely.
How long have you been live streaming for?
Well, this is a fairly new venture for me. Fairly new venture. So I've been creating videos for a few years, but I wanted to, yeah, this is kind of like the next level. And so I've only been doing this for like a few days now. And it's something that I've been planning for months, so. So that's why it's so exciting. And yeah, so just a few days, honestly. A few days, and yeah, here's to new beginnings.
Where have you decided to live stream on?
To YouTube.
Nice.
So I'm transitioning from TikTok, which is my main platform, once to YouTube now, where I'm planning to sort of build that platform up and move into some monetization options that give me more options to accomplish more that I'd like to get done.
That's awesome.
Why, thank you.
Congrats.
Why, thank you. You speak as one who's familiar with this whole world.
I do enjoy the stuff. I don't make any of my own.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, like, how have I never seen you on TikTok? But
Oh.
yeah. Do you just do like kind of like vlog style? Or
Yeah.
lifestyle?
No, so back when I was doing it before, I was sharing a lot of my experiences as a driver. And that kind of took off unexpectedly. So I'm not surprised. Well, nah, I'm not surprised that you haven't seen me on there. But I just met someone earlier who had recognized me from there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yes, it's kind of I never know when I'm gonna get recognized.
Yeah.
And it's an unusual experience when someone comes up to you and they know more about you than you know them. And you don't see them coming, but all of a sudden they're like, hey, by the way. I'm like, oh yeah, you don't say.
Yeah.
So it takes some getting used to.
Hopefully, a lot of positive feedback.
I've been getting a lion's share of that, to be certain. You know what's interesting? Of course, you'll always have your trolls online. That's part of the landscape. But you never meet trolls in real life, it seems. Do you know what I'm saying?
They always have something to say until you actually.
Well, I'm not sure if I ever seen them. Well, it would be very courageous for a troll to show up in real life and keep on doing the thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the way they engage online is, I don't know, it doesn't take as much courage to do that there, right?
For sure.
But when they do that in real life, there's some social measures that are rapidly brought into play that say, actually, that's out of bounds. We ain't
That is
going.
brave.
Absolutely. But no, I would say that's the part that um, I'm thankful that before I went online, there was a very definitive way that I understood who I was and what I stood for that wouldn't be affected by their contributions. So when they did come on, it was like, oh, you missed the, like, if you're aiming for this destination, you kind of missed royally.
Yeah.
So that's not a big deal for me, right? And enables me to be free to keep on focusing on where I want my focus to be. And that's brilliant. So I would say, yeah, like there's a lot of there's a fantastic community that you get to meet online, and then when you get to meet them in person, it's a real gift. It's a real gift because then you get to hear in some ways how, I don't know, your content, your work has really impacted them in a really helpful way.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a big deal in a nice way. Yeah. So I feel blessed. Thank you.
I definitely have those like creators that I follow that I'm like, man, they don't know, but I look forward to seeing them pop up.
That's a sweet thing. That's a sweet thing. Well, I mean, you already follow them too, right?
That's
Which
true.
means you're part of their ecosystem.
Yeah,
And no, that's amazing. I like that.
it's cool. It sounds like you're doing it for good, and there's like a positive light and energy to yourself. In case you didn't know. Great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, do you usually get to start this late in the day?
I do. So my shifts are Saturday to Wednesday every week.
Okay.
On Thursday, Friday, which is strange, and I start at 11 a.m. and go all the way to 7 p.m.
Okay.
So I never thought I would miss a 9 to 5, but
But you prefer this?
I think I prefer the 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah, I see. I see.
But the job itself, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm grateful. Like
Cool.
I like my team. And
Yeah.
stuff, so.
And what do you do?
I work at Showpass, it's a ticketing platform.
Yeah. It's an online one, though, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's an online setting, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. So the online ticketing platform, and then their headquarters is in Calgary, actually, which I didn't know.
I did not know
But
that.
yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
You probably have the app on your phone. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And then they had reached out, and I was like, I thought it was a scam.
Yeah.
Why would Showpass be reaching out on LinkedIn? And then I took the lead, met with them a couple
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
and then got hired, and I can't believe it.
So you got headhunted.
Yeah, it's a great company to work for. I mean, it's a startup, but I would say by now it's kind of a mid-sized level. And my job itself, I work with clients and customers, so
Yeah.
it's not as, I don't know if it's my passion
Gotcha.
or anything.
Yeah.
But the work environment is really good because of opportunity. Yeah, I'm a horror.
Me too. I'm a non-existent.
I don't.
Yeah.
Anytime someone cooks for me, I'm beyond grateful. I'm like, I appreciate this more than you know.
That's awesome.
And they're like, yeah, okay. I'm like, no, really, because I wasn't gonna do it. So,
That's awesome. So, what was it in you that they saw? What did you ever find out, like, why they reached out?
honestly, for
Yeah.
them, it was that on my LinkedIn, I said I was bilingual in French and English, which I'm not. I'm pretty sure I put beginner French, like
Yeah.
everyone who grows up in Canada.
Yeah.
And they were looking for a bilingual person to help with the phones and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I met them, or they called me, and I was like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm beginner.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, it's not required. We just thought we would see if anyone was. And then
Okay.
it worked out. So
Nice.
it was like a miscommunication on my LinkedIn, I guess. And then
You'll
since
take it.
yeah. And then since then, they just say it's kind of nice to have someone who's like always willing to learn stuff. Like
Yeah.
I think in the company, I'm one of the youngest of the crew,
Yeah.
so I'm just always like, oh, what are you doing? Like, let me see. They're like, it's not applicable to you. I'm like, but like, I want to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learn more that way. So.
Nice. That's awesome. have you gotten to know yourself well enough to have some hints of where you want to explore a little bit as far as passion and so on?
I think passion was, I've always wanted to do hair.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been interested in doing it in the aspect of like it's creative, it's fun.
Yeah.
And it makes people feel good.
Ooh.
People feel happy.
Yeah.
But then my parents wanted me to go to school.
Right.
So I did that.
Yeah.
Proud of myself for finishing it.
Nice.
It's like I just did it on my own.
Yeah.
Kind of to spite them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
finished it nonetheless.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna see if I can use my degree for a while, and then if I still hate it, then I'll go to hair school.
What is your degree?
I took psychology, so
Okay.
nothing to do with what I'm doing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But definitely a good basis, I guess, for just. I mean, you don't need a degree in it to understand people,
Sure.
but it's definitely
Do you
cool to see the nuances.
do you still feel some sense of obligation to your parents?
I think at this point, not too much,
Yeah.
which I'm grateful for.
Sure.
Like a lot of kids whose parents are immigrants, I feel like there is that pressure.
Yep.
Like, in a sense, rightfully so. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, I could never do what they did. But I think as long as you, like, even my friends who have similar experiences, as long as you show them, like, you kind of know what you're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing, but as far as, like, I pay my rent,
Yeah.
I pay my bills,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I still, like, hang out with friends
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
my kid is another human who's
Absolutely.
going through life.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It took me a couple of decades to sort of work out of that obligation role too. So I was 8 when we moved to Canada here, but definitely that long period where it's that sense of they've done so much, I need to see what they want, as opposed to like, I guess my perspective now would be the biggest kudos for a parent is that they raised an independent person, not one who's reliant and kind of like working off of their expectations. Now they'll have expectations or desires of what they want to see their kids, moving into as far as their idea of success. But I also like the idea that we're so different, and when they had you, when they had me, and when I had my kids as well too, we didn't get a choice in the kind of personality we like. We were just blown away by that. There's one kid who had straight hair. That poor kid, we just always were like analyzing and feeling with wonder his hair. Secondly, I always envied people with straight hair when it flows in the wind. I'm like, oh, what's that like,
Unless you try,
True.
it's easier said than done.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, as soon as you do, I don't think I've ever regretted it. So, yeah, if anything, it's like, oh, maybe this isn't for me, but I'm not mad that I tried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, part of that sense of obligation to our parents, and I still feel this too, is, I mean, they've been there for us for sure, and they've done what they could for us in the sense of saying, how can we make sure you're good, But I also think about how when we like sort of branch out onto our own, it's a risky thing, but like when we branch out into our own space, we're like, this is what I want to do, and then we fulfill on that, and then we become like really instrumental in their lives and saying, I can only do this because I've been able to step out courageously on my own. That's a big deal, So I really appreciate that as well. I'm so glad I met you today, Grace.
Yeah, me too. Look at
This
that.
is-
So what are the odds? I don't know. I love stuff like this. You
Me
probably
too.
know. So I'm like, this
Me
is great.
too. Quick question for you, and I love your gut reaction to this, and it's a celebrated answer. Would you be comfortable if I were to share this conversation with my audience?
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
off my live stream here, of course, but I've got like a recording up here.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
open to it.
Hello.
If you're open to it.
Yeah, I'm
You
good.
feel comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As long as you think it's not something one would be embarrassed about. I'm
No, I wouldn't ask you if
Yeah.
you were. Things come up sometimes. I'm like, oh well, we won't go that option. But no, it was sweet.
Yeah.
It was
It's
wonderful.
so nice meeting you. Thank
Likewise,
you so
Grace.
much.
My pleasure.
Where can I find you?
Let me give you my card, and then you'll be able to. It's got my socials on it on the back.
Okay.
That's me.
Thank you. Am
My-
I good to tell people in the office? as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, you're sweet.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. The more people, the more eyes, I feel like the better. So
Thank you,
I
Grace.
hope you have an amazing day.
It already has been.
You made my day.
You did mine as well.
Bye.
Cheers, late. Aw, so sweet. Hey y'all, on the live stream kind of cut out a couple of times, but don't worry. We've got it on camera up here on the GoPro, so I will upload that in some time. But wasn't she sweet? So sweet, and I love what we're talking about because it really does make a difference, doesn't it? When you can find your sense of calling in life, right? So anyway, I'll see you all on the 9th episode whenever I get a chance to get that all locked in. But thanks for watching the recording and live stream. Talk to you soon.